keeping track of where the sorties are. You have the finance team that identifies what the, the funding is, because we utilize Air Force funding for that. As well as ground team things as well. The cadets can actually participate in air crew once they pass the age of 18. So 18 and older, they can actually be on an air crew.
I
and
recall
serve
that
on-
was a couple of years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why we're proud of Felipe, because he's actually joining that crowd. Sometimes, you get the youth, they join our program at 12 and, they can be cadets all the way until the age 21. But, by the time they get to 17 and 18, they're in high school or they get into college. So, there's that extra, get them in the airplane and it helps keep them in the program and going forward. So we're very proud of that. Absolutely.
Given the worldwide shortage of pilots, I think is forecast for the next 10 years or so, are you gearing up for a continued increase in participation?
Absolutely. And actually the wing scholarship is a major part of that. It's taken us a little while to spool up. Like I said, we have 2 candidates right now that are going to have the scholarship. The 2 Pinto brothers are working on their solo, because again, when the Air Force granted, I think it's like $3.5 million to use all over the country, along with another donation from an outside foundation. They went and did a study and found out in order to determine when somebody starts their route towards private pilot, what are the biggest hurdles that prevent them from getting that. The biggest hurdle they found was the FAA written exam. So that's why they have to have that done before they'll be an ideal candidate, and as well as getting, of course, a solo. So that whole program is what's really helping get more kids flying.
I'd like to hear from the young ladies in the program.
Yeah.
What are some of the activities and what are your aspirations?
I'm Gabriel Diaz, and I really love the excitement, and I think that it really helpful because you can in different parties to go out with the motivation first, and then you can do staff, you can do support staff, you line staff, and it helps you grow in your work too. And another activity that I really like is the FLA, the Florida Leadership Academy, which is like the weekend. And it's separated into different groups on your rank, and you learn different things. It helps you grow as a leader, and it lets you know how to do certain things, and it's just really helpful, especially if you want to staff and
Great. Same thing. What do you like?
I like the same like events that these happen in FLA. What I like about them is that you can learn a lot, and it just teaches you a lot of leadership and responsibility. And that's what I really enjoy about this program.
Great.
And this past year, we actually, the Diaz sisters, and is Cadet Phillips out there? Well, because she had to leave. They actually were an all-female color guard team that went to our state competition here. Out of all the teams, we had an all-female color guard, and they did really well. You guys got like first place in spot inspection, I think it was. So yeah, they did really well. Absolutely. Congratulations. That's great.
And just one more question, so we can hear from everyone. Are you the official photographer?
Mhm.
Are you the official photographer? You take all the pictures? Good.
Man of many words.
Yes.
How long's your ground school?
Ground school as far as getting through the FAA
Yeah.
written.
Yeah, and how does that coincide with their school year?
So the ground school, so once they join Civil Air Patrol, within the first, I'd say 60 days, we get them up into an orientation flight. So they join, they have to get their first rank, and then they get their orientation right. Once they do that, then we get the EAA actually has a special sponsorship for the Civil Air Patrol where they provide them the sporties. What is it? The course to do the ground school. We're planning on putting together sort of a ground school at the unit also as well to try to get even more cadets through that part. But right now it's really composed of that sporties thing that they do, and they can also sign up for other, courses as well.
Any other questions or comments? Very nice.
Thank you all very much.
Okay,
If I may, Mr. Chair, not to put anybody on the spot, but out of the 8 full-time employees that we have here, we have 3 who are former Civil Air Patrol members, including Florence, I think was an instructor, right? She said.
Yeah.
I won't mention any names, but I'm looking at Travis and Robert Abbott are both in Civil Air Patrol, and Florence was as well. Florence is at a meeting now, but so just so
Thanks for
that you're
pointing that
aware.
out. What a great-
Thank you. We have some history with Civil Air Patrol.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion to approve the donation.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I think we're gonna. Photo up here.
If anyone of any board members would like to join us, we do have a photo op to present the big check.
Captain Russell, if you're gonna come up here, please. Captain Russell. Captain Russell actually is our newly appointed deputy commander for cadets. So he's actually running our cadet program.
Maybe we can have you guys
Go on that
on
side.
both sides.
Over here. Look, in this.
One, 2, 3.
One for Marcy, looking over here, please.
Anything for you, Marcy?
Thank you.
I have a question. Is all that writing gonna show up on your head?
I was just.
I-
looking at it.
Yeah.
Photoshop.
Yeah,
I'll edit it.
yeah. Photoshop is wonderful.
Yeah, Photoshop's a one. Soul
It'll
still
get rid of
forget
it.
about that. Don't forget to endorse the box.
That's right.
All right, moving on. Item B, Atlantic Aviation Special Event Request. Travis, you
Oh,
wanna present this item?
Happy to.
That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Airport management received a request from Atlantic Aviation to hold a special event on November 4th. This will be a invitation only event benefiting the Great Team, which is a local nonprofit specializing in veteran mental health and suicide prevention. This will be inside one of the Atlantic's hangars, also having a staff display aircraft with a skateboarding function out front for whoever the potential donor would be. The invitation also. This will be the night of November 4th, prior to the mentioned resolution number, we also have a representation of Atlantic Aviation and the Great Team here, for this request. So with that, we recommend passing resolution number 092423 to the special bill on November 4th.
Would we like to hear from the Great Team or Atlantic Aviation on this matter? Would you guys like to stand up for a second? Yeah, I have one question. How many people are you expecting?
In terms of just our IPs, and of course, everyone from the board is, right? We're probably looking at about 30. It will not be open to the public. It's the stakeholders, I love the community members who support the military. As we all probably are aware, side rate skyrocketing. And we also have the veterans, so it's unthinkable that it's almost really a day. You know, and, Palm Beach County is one of the highest suicide rates in Florida. And it's the third largest county in the state for veterans. And we are the second largest state in the United States of America for veterans. So it is a huge problem here. We're doing everything we can to combat it. Existence since 2016, and we have never lost.
Congratulations.
Thank you for all you do.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Number 9, Executive Director and Staff Reports. Boca Raton Airport Scholarship Fund Annual Contribution. Ms. Bennett, you're here. to present
Thank you,
that.
Mr. Chair. This is a time of year when the board approved our distribution of the contribution to the Boca Raton Airport Scholarship. And as always, we're honored to have Tim Snow here, who will give us an update on our fund as well as updates on our scholars.
Afternoon, everyone. I always enjoy coming and sharing some good news with you guys every year. Go through a couple of stats that we have, and then I want to point out a couple of your scholars individually. But basically, right now we have two programs with y'all. One is your airport scholarship program, which is what we're speaking of today. But also that we have an endowment with the Kennedy Day endowment. And so I'm going to report on the scholarship as well. Regarding the Airport Authority Scholarship, you currently have 8 students in college with an average GPA of 3.2, and 5 of the students that you all have helped in the past have already graduated. And I'll tell you a little bit about some of them in a few minutes. Regarding the Kennedy Day scholarships, they currently, that program currently has 5 scholars in school with an average GPA of 3.4, and that program also has 5 students that have graduated. Some of the majors that your scholars are pursuing are aerospace engineering, aeronautical engineering, aviation engineering, aviation science, and aviation. You've got students at the University of Florida, Embry-Riddle, Liberty University, Georgia Tech, University of Central Florida, Florida Institute of Technology, Florida State, and Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Your 2 newest scholars that you awarded this year in June are attending. One, Jackson Borges is attending the University of Central Florida. He's just enrolled, so we don't have any GPAs with him. He's studying aerospace engineering, as is Parker Grimes, who is at the University of Florida, also studying aerospace engineering. You know, why are we doing this? We're doing it so that the students can get a great education and they can also get great jobs in the the aviation industry. And so, you know, while we've been doing this for some time, and we're really fortunate to have had some good results. So, in your packet are 2 of your scholars. Brandon, I remember the interview. I didn't interview him, but I was a part of the process of the interviews, and so I got to talk to him a little bit. And I can tell you, he is living his best life right now. He is, as I remember him, he had this incredible passion about being a native aviator. And he graduated from Embry-Riddle, and that's what he's doing right now. He's up in Pensacola, getting training on all kinds of various different types of aircraft. I know he wants to be a fighter pilot, but he's written. I won't read the letter to you, but he's written a letter, kind of informing our team on what he's doing, and that's part of your board packet. I encourage you to read that. As I said, he's just that was what he wanted to do with his life, and he's making that happen now. And it's really fun to see. He sent us a bunch of pictures. He said to us, you can share these, but don't post them on social media because we'll get in trouble. And it shows the inside of the cockpit and all that. But there are pictures of him flying across the New York skyline as one of his cross-country trips. Wanted to go see New York. His instructor told him, yeah, we'll go there. And you can see the new World Trade Center in the background. So that's pretty cool. And then the other student that I want to tell you about is Samir. And he graduated from Embry-Riddle, I believe, and is currently working as a propulsion engineer with Blue Origin. So he's in charge of the E4 rocket engine with responsibility in manufacturing the nozzles and the combustion chambers. So again, he's living his best life, and it's just so great to see these young people be able to achieve their goals and objectives, especially as it relates to the aviation industry. A couple other folks, you actually have another graduate that's working with Blue Origin as a design engineer. You've got a satellite operations engineer at Omnitron, and he's working on the Swift satellite mission. I tried to Google that, didn't find a whole lot. But that's pretty exciting. I mean, then you've got a captain for a charter company in Fort Lauderdale, and he's going to begin his airline flight training with SkyWest. Another thing I wanted to mention to you all, well, one thing is you've got two of your students are currently in graduate school, so they're pursuing advanced degrees. So that's pretty exciting. And then we, as you know, and maybe remember, we've had a relationship with Florida Prepaid Scholarship Program where we're continuing that with some of your money. We take a portion of it and buy 4 years of Florida public school education. We're able to get basically triple the benefit and the impact to the student. So we pay about I want to say call it $8,400, and we get about $25,000 worth of tuition. Basically, their full tuition for 4 years. That is really what I wanted to share with you all, but I just, want to thank the Airport Authority for all the impact that you're having on the community, and congratulations on your 75th anniversary. Claire shared with me some of the things that you're doing with that. It's all very exciting. So certainly open to any questions that anybody might have.
Thanks, Tim. I love this article here on Schmier titled "Rocket Man from Dream School to Dream Job." And do we know where this was published?
I think that was if I'm not mistaken, and please don't hold me to it, but I believe that was an Embry-Riddle University publication or something.
So maybe it would be possible. I guess we'd have to get permission from them, but maybe to put a link to this on our website or something like that. Maybe Clara. So I think it speaks really well to the commitment and the dedication that we've had with you all over the years, and how it's resulted in this amazing job for Samir. Several others, of course, would be a good example of it.
Yeah, let me look into that. I'll find out exactly where that came from.
That's yes, Tim, you're correct. That's from Embry-Riddle from the university publication
great.
as well, that Leslie forwarded to us.
Great.
Motion to approve our ongoing support of $25,000. So
All those in favor, say aye.
aye.
Motion carries. You, Tim, thank you very much. We're gonna do another photo op. And another.
Anyone else?
No, all right. I'll see.
Yeah.
Come on, Mel.
Get the picture.
And now look over here, real quick.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Tim.
Really love our partnership.
All right, item B, observation area, First Amendment to the contract with Recreational Design and Construction Incorporated. Scott, you're on point for this one.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As the board may recall, back in April, we are awarded the Progressive Design Build contract to RDC, or Recreational Design and Construction, for this project. They've been working over the last several months to complete the design aspects of it, to bringing it from Sharon's concepts to the 90% plan stage currently, which is where they also supply us with the guaranteed max price and the schedule per the terms of the RFQ. There are still some comments that the engineers are working through based on the 90%, and there is a larger breakdown that we need to get from them on that guaranteed max price. But the amendment today will lock in that price, so the price will not come in over that, but it may come in below that depending on actual quantity amounts and line item pricing and so forth. And this is pretty common to have just a group of items in the award that are then broken down later on. We did the same thing recently with our security project, where there's just a line item for cameras, and then they have to supply us the invoicing for each individual type of camera, et cetera, before we can process the payment. So this is all in line with the FDOT requirements. The guaranteed maximum price did come in a little bit above the revised estimates. So the revised estimates back in April were around the 860,000 range. Obviously, inflation has been crazy still. The guaranteed maximum price is $1,158,210. And the proposed schedule is 131 project days. There are some actual dates referenced in the schedule that you had at your seat place. Those obviously won't be the actual dates because it'll take us a while to work through these last couple of items before we'll actually give them the thumbs up and go ahead to proceed, but it will be around that 4-month, a little bit longer time frame. So with that, we actually have a bit of a revised motion that Janice was kind enough to recommend for us. So staff recommends that the board moves to approve contract amendment number 1, the guaranteed maximum price amendment, subject to the requirements that the firm specify its assumptions and allowance amounts, and to give the executive director the authority to negotiate reductions in the construction costs to ensure the contract price is reasonable and consistent with the contract budget.
Right, looking for a motion? So move. Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Just a comment. I know we've talked about this before and talking with Clara, it sounds like we're contemplating potentially both a groundbreaking and a ribbon cutting. I mean, we do so much here and spending large amounts of money that does not get the public excited. And I mean, I think the more we can put into, PR and making the fanfare around this. I know that's been mentioned before by Bob and Cheryl and others, but I just like to reemphasize that.
And it's a very popular thing we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and especially during our 75th year to show that we're giving back to our community. So I think it's definitely warranted for both a ground break shovel. Yeah, moving dirt, and then when it's done 4 months later.
Well, that's a good segue into our next topic, right?
Very good, thank you. Item C, corporate identity and community engagement program update, Ms. Landers.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and Board. I'd like to ask Mr. Ryan Sherman to come up. He is one of our representatives, our account manager from Garth, and he'll be presenting a quarterly report on our activities for community engagement.
Going right into our website review. This quarter, we again saw great gains in web traffic to the website. We saw a little over a 6% increase in page views. This is internal. Internal over 1,500 more views this quarter than the previous quarter. Looking at the top 4 page views, homepage, of course, is number 1. We put that there's nothing really that stands out as something to be concerned here. We expected for the development focus, learning about the facility at number 2 was kind of funny and interesting that the third one is do airplanes fly out of Wilmington Airport.
Well, maybe I think airlines, maybe they're thinking of commercial airport.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I see that the Treasure Coast Airport though is doing that.
Pursuing the
Yeah.
airline traffic, yeah.
Then going into our social media analytics. Once again, where we've seen great increases in all of our social media platforms and gaining more followers on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. However, we have noticed that our impressions and engagement are down. We've gotten into this a little bit further, and we've noticed that posts pertaining to events and community initiatives are garnering the most impressions and engagement. However, one thing that we're gonna look to do this quarter is also to do something more of an A/B testing with our social media. This is where we will be posting 2 different posts both to the same similar audience to see kind of feedback that we get in engagement. This will be completely separate from our regular strategy. This will help us make sure that we are staying on the right path and making sure that we are engaging our audience and providing them with meaningful content. And further kind of go into that, these are our top 5 engagement posts. And you can see the Prevent 10-year anniversary, fabulous sport, the back to school drive, all of these are public events that have garnered, of course, more engagement. So that is something that is not surprising, however, that's something that we kind of want to pick off of and make sure that we continue to build off of that. Now going into our outreach program, as Mr. Snow alluded to, in June, we had the scholarship awards, where it was awarded to Ms. Peter Grimes and Jack Portis. In July, we were glad to be a proud sponsor of the fabulous 4th of July event with the city of Boca Raton. Also, we worked on the back to school supply drive. It's like the 6th year running. That was a huge success, raising approximately $15,000 in school supplies for local schools. And to celebrate that, we had an appreciation event, an ice cream social. That was on July 20th. Also, the airport co-hosted the 54th FAC annual conference and exhibition. And later on in the month, Clara delivered the opening remarks at the USETA annual conference. August, there also spoke about general aviation and airport safety at the Airports Conference of the Americas. Rob, we have to recognize Rob, who completed the AAU's airport certification. And also in August was the airport celebrated its safety week, which was a big success. And that's when we introduced the airport's new safety management system program to the staff and tenants. Later on in the month, the airport staff attended the barbecue hosted by Lynn University for the College of Aeronautics. They also attended the anniversary event for BRAA. And also later on in the month, they attended the Pink Prom for Making Strike, which was raising money for breast cancer. And finally, on August 30th, attended the FAU VIP football. They kind of hosted a VIP football event for us as kind of a introduction to the season and kind of a kickoff to the hometown promotion that is going on. For the 75th campaign, we are highlighting for the campaign, it's really about public relations, event connections, and strategic initiatives. Those are the key things that we are focusing on. For that, we have the mural wall. That's going to be started in November. The artist, Craig McGinnis, has been selected. He is working on a final artwork now that will be submitted. The timeline will be about 2 to 3 weeks in November. As it is being worked on, we at GARC are also going to be videotaping and documenting the process to create a video to accompany the mural when it's revealed. And then also we started with the ambassador campaign. really reaching out to the ambassadors. We now started a monthly newsletter that goes out to the ambassadors with the key focusing on spreading awareness, encouraging participation in events, and just representing the campaign overall. In each email campaign has different focus. We've seen pretty remarkable result on the email campaign so far, with 83% and 76% open rates. That is extremely high. Usually the average is between 50 and 60. So we're pretty proud of that. They are embracing it. Right now we do have currently 16 ambassadors in the program. They've really embraced it. We are continuing to encourage them to use their social media to help promote the airport in the 75th anniversary, and we'll continue to do so. And as things get ramped up, as we get closer, their continuation and helping promote is gonna get higher. With that too, we're also building out the 75th website. This has been launched for the staff and for the ambassadors. Right now, we're finishing up the overall timeline that will be hosted on it. This, because a little bit of a different approach instead of a typical timeline, we are also making this more of a story, giving the whole story of the airport from the beginning all the way up to current and what will be going into the future. And on this webpage, we will also be hosting a media kit that will be allowed for people to be able to come access all the different assets where they can download information about the airport, logos, anything that they may need. Well, they'll have everything right there at their resource. Then once it is fully launched, the site will be searchable online, and we're going to promote the website using social media, digital ads, and we'll report 50% of the country. Next up is the coffee table book. As many of you know, there was a coffee table book for the 70th, and we are currently in development for one for the 75th. In this, we are picking up where the 70th left off, but we're focusing this book more about the airport's impact and innovation in the present and the industry's evolution into the future. Rather than structuring it on a linear timeline that the other one was, we are looking at all the different elements associated with the airport and covering different stories that will help time into different themes that will be incorporated into the book. Then just looking ahead at some things that are coming up in the near future. On October 14th, we have the Making Strides for Potential Walk. Right, it's going to be all the way down the street. But we encourage you all to participate. The airport has its own team, so if you guys are interested in, I hope you join the team and see you out there. Also on October 21st, the airport is hosting a tailgate event over at the stadium right behind us for that VU home game. And then on November 11th, we will be honored at the Mayor's Ball.
Is that an ad that was designed that will be in the program?
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
What page?
Yeah.
And then you also participate in the video that will be played.
That's right.
Great.
My least favorite activity is to record a video.
And we have 2 tables there.
We do have 2 tables. We have a total of 21 guests, including board members, some honored guests from our tenant community, as well as some others that we've invited, and including city management staff
Fantastic.
and 2 staff members.
Christine, did you send out a invitation for the tailgate thing?
Not yet.
Okay.
Should be coming
Yeah.
out shortly.
Okay,
Yeah, we're working on that, beginning, basically.
I think the issue is
Just-
with FAU because they have to schedule the game.
oh, the time is not,
Yeah.
Yes, they
it's still TV,
unfortunately, they've been losing, or they haven't won as many games.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Always PR guy.
Notoriously can't.
Really. Yeah. It kind of goes on,
right,
it should be, I think, very soon.
And as always, we have a nonprofit that we highlight, as you know, last year we have highlighted Great Team, which was a great event for us to have the veterans there. This year, we're highlighting, because the theme is the first responders. We are doing the Boca Raton Firefighters and Paramedics Benevolent Association. Excited to meet with them, and in fact, their leadership attended our training that we did here in May and June, so they're familiar with the airport staff.
Very good. Any other questions, comments? Thank you very much. Okay, item 10, authority board member requests and reports. Any items you'd like to discuss? Right. Public comments, Ms. Landers, any public comment?
Not at this time.
Any other business to come before the board? Seeing none. the
I
next-
want to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
Looking at the noise reports, we're actually 4 real noise reports. Not Wimbledon villages where they keep hitting the thing. So we're down to 4 now, which is, we're making a lot of headway.
Yes, I think that we've talked about it internally as well, that summertime, windows are still closed, and we do have a construction project going on overnight
Yes.
that's resulting in an airport closure to fix wing aircraft. So that's certainly been part of our noise abatement program right for the last month and last 3 weeks.
Ms. Bennett, on the November 15th workshop, should we mention that now so people get that on their schedule?
Absolutely. So this will be the last workshop regarding the airport master plan. And it will be the same day of our November meeting, the 15th, but it'll be at 3 p.m. So we'll need you here for a little longer that evening, so 3 o'clock. So about 4:30, then there'll be a little bit of a break. And then we'll have the 5 o'clock regular meeting. The agenda for the workshop is under development, but generally speaking, it's a recap of the what had been presented previously in the public sphere, such as the forecasts and the development alternatives that have been previously viewed, as well as an update on the final chapters, including the airport layout plan, the noise contours, and the sustainability plan. Both of those elements will be incorporated into the 2 plans that will be under development next year. So it's a recap of and final presentation on the master plan.
We're planning to send an invitation out to all our airport tenants and people.
We don't typically send invitations per se, but
Or notice.
there will be, and there's always a social media notice that we put out of all of our public meetings at board meetings and workshops.
And I'll mention it next week.
Mhm.
Pilots.
Yeah, so recap of what they saw at the special meeting that we held for the book
That's
pilots
very good
in
feedback.
April. Mhm.
Very good feedback.
And we also plan on inviting the members of the technical advisory committee that participated in some of the development of the chapters. That includes stakeholders in the local community, such as city planning department, various city leaders
And airport
groups and
tenants.
airport tenants.
Mhm.
And that, we made a lot of money with that meeting. To use phrase.
Very good. So that's the meeting in 2 months in November, but next month's meeting will be held October 25th at 5 p.m. here in the conference room.
And that's a date change. We changed it.
Correct. It's a week later than our typical third Wednesday, so.
Yeah, October 25th. Very good. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
So-
Second,
Second.
meeting adjourned.
Hey.